Hello and welcome to another episode of 5 Things, a web series dedicated to answering the 5 burning tech questions you have about technologies and workflows in the media creation space, plus tech stuff I dig and how it's used. I'm your host, Michael Cummins, and today we're delving into the thrilling world of asset management. Let's face it, asset management isn't sexy. Very few people work their butts off in the hopes that they can one day administer asset management. However, the need for asset management is only growing on a daily basis. Face it, none of us are deleting media, we're only acquiring more of it, and we need to then find it and do more things with it. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. What is asset management?
No dates. Placed on the shelves in no discernible order. If we had 50 men reading in 24-hour shifts, it'd still take 2 months. I know.
In the media realm, it's any system that you use to tag, catalog, and track your bits and pieces of media and ancillary files. In fact, just using macOS Finder or Windows Explorer is asset management by OS. Sure, it's rudimentary and basic, but it is a way to track and find files. Specialized software to tag, find, and retrieve files from various storage locations is actually pretty common at this point. I mean, metadata is indexable and thus searchable, but what if I were to tell you that good asset management can talk to and work with multiple hardware and software solutions directly? That it can interface with non-media based technology like business apps, or that it can automate routine processes like transcoding and media movement and outbound delivery. And the real good ones can find data not just by terms you search for, but can extrapolate results based on context and similar search terms. Yeah, it's true. And this is why the Sharpie marked up hard drives or stack of Post-its on your shelf just doesn't cut it anymore. And this is also why we now have the holy trinity of asset management, DAM, MAM, and PAM. No doubt, while looking into asset management, you've heard or seen these terms. We're no strangers to acronyms in the media creation space. DAM, MAM, and PAM. Ah yes, the jokes practically write themselves. A safe bet for you is to use the term DAM, Digital Asset Management. This all-encompassing term covers the subcategories of MAM, Media Asset Management, and PAM, Production Asset Management. Please forgive the oversimplification, but let's think of it like a fast food burger joint.
I have fast food experience.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Well, I'm sure there have been amazing technological advances in the industry, but surely you must have some sort of training program.
DAM covers the entire process related to keeping the restaurant running, growing, and thriving. But perhaps we can get more granular than that. That's where MAM and PAM come into play. PAM covers the inbound shipments of the food, scheduling of the workers, how the workers interact with the customers, and the QC of the service. MAM covers the actual food prep and usage, the nitty-gritty low-level food process that you normally associate with the heart of a burger joint. However, those lines have now blurred, the same reason you may find a shift manager at the burger joint manning the deep fryer. MAM and PAM extensibility with other applications via watch folders, XML, or even APIs allow MAMs and PAMs to branch out and create a Venn diagram of ability. Many MAMs and PAMs are geared for different segments of the industry, or even for other industries outside of the media and entertainment market. This creates different feature sets, which blur the distinction between AMs even further. In fact, if we look at one of the more specific DAMs, such as Avid MAM and Avid PAM, they actually flip the usage. PAM is used by the editors for creative purposes, while MAM handles much of the advanced automation and business process. This is why I prefer to stick with the DAM moniker. However, some tech purists will want to use MAM if just discussing the media and entertainment market. Glad you asked. First and foremost is, how will it make your creative team more efficient? This will certainly surround the creative tools they use. Thus, if you're using tools like Final Cut Pro 10, Avid's DAM solution probably wouldn't be a great fit. If you have an extensive image library and are looking for an asset management system that doesn't have a wide range of support for image formats, well, then you should probably look elsewhere. So choose a tool that works best with the creative tools and formats that you use. You should also look into the automation aspect of the toolset. What repeatable tasks consume much of your creative's time? Is it transcoding, for example? Then look into a solution that can either transcode itself or talk to a third-party transcoding system to hand off the task. What about file transfer services, such as Aspera or Signiant? A DAM that can package, send, and track those files without Creative's intervention would save your team a ton of time. What about archiving and media movement? Automating the writing of media to backup or archival storage, and then being able to retrieve it saves a ton of time.
I want all the information on the development of this project. All data, files, backup disks on my desk right away. I'm merging your department with archives. Did you get the memo?
Many of us use disparate tools for review and approve. That is, having members of our team or the end client review cuts and versions. If this is served up in conjunction with your DAM, you now have a centralized place to track changes and notes. Speaking of tracking, what about tying into your billing or accounting systems? If done right, you now have a centralized location to track time spent on the project for billing and the media associated with that project. While this is still a touchy subject, we should discuss it. Many facilities can benefit from having a cloud-based solution, as your team may be spread out geographically. Can your solution be decentralized? Many DAM solutions are locked to an on-prem solution or have decreased functionality when placed in the cloud. Here is an often overlooked one. How is the DAM customized? Can a member of your team learn to program or script for your DAM, or do you need to contact the manufacturer or reseller to do it for you? Here's the secret. This is where a lion's share of your funding and your time will go. In-depth and specific automation isn't quite drag and drop just yet, and the labor cost per hour, plus annual support renewals, are often glazed over when planning for asset management. For starters, realize that a massive subject like asset management needs to start with small decisions. First, and I say this with no allegiances, track down a solutions provider and integrator. The aforementioned scope of choosing a robust asset management solution can be a full-time job. Manufacturers will swear to you that their system can do everything. The devil is always in the details, and rarely all of these details shake out in the research stage. Sync up with a solutions integrator, as they have the experience and know what works in scenarios like yours and what doesn't. But more importantly, they know what workflows can and should be augmented to be more efficient and work within the confines of an asset management solution.
You know why we a good partnership for us? Because we be watching out for one another, like brothers and stuff.
Okay, that being said, make a list. Sounds simple, huh? Pick out 10 to 15 things the DAM system must do, and be detailed. For example, details like, it must be able to read an Adobe project file and parse the media within it. This is much different than wanting a DAM that can use an Adobe project file, which could simply mean the DAM can track it, not do anything more meaningful with it. Be specific. This will also help eliminate the products out there that are not a good fit. Again, you need a starting point. Next, we need to determine a ballpark budget. And remember, this budget needs to cover the DAM solution, including software, hardware, storage, custom coding, and deployment, and support renewals. There is no sense in wasting time looking at solutions that all in will annihilate your budget. Be forward thinking. Where do you see your business in 5 years or more? The core of your asset management system is your important data and all of the metadata surrounding it. Expand your mind and begin to consider how you can leverage the automation and media in the years to come so you can choose a solution that can grow as you grow. A DAM isn't a solution you can easily replace. Automation gets lost during migration, and data can't always be translated 100% between systems. Lastly, poll others in your industry to see what they use, or ask manufacturers for case studies or names and numbers of clients who have deployed those particular solutions. Get real-world feedback, not just marketing slicks. I said it before, but it bears repeating. The devil is always in the details. There are dozens of solutions out there. Heck, NAB had nearly 40 exhibitors this year that listed asset management in their product offerings. Some are monthly, some are bought outright, so this will be broad strokes. Professional dams that have base levels of functionality can be under $1,500. Many of these are decent at finding stuff by various bits of metadata and may have some logging and tagging built in. Axle is a good one. It works in a browser and makes getting started with asset management pretty simple, although there is not a ton of extensibility for automation or usage by third parties.
You think that kind of automation is easy? Or cheap? You know anybody who can network 8 connection machines and debug 2 million lines of code?
CatDV by Squarebox is a very popular option. Its desktop solution is great for logging and cataloging. Its larger offerings are extensible enough to handle enterprise deployments, albeit with a healthy amount of scripting. It's one of the most popular dams in the M&E space. When we get into larger solutions that transcend the find it and present it methodology, we usually look at $50K starting just for the software. You still need a server or multiple servers and scripting work. Common solutions include Levels Beyond, MAM, PrimeStream, and Contemo Portal. These all require some heavy lifting on the labor side to get it working within your particular setup. Enterprise dams can be $150,000 up to several $100,000. Avid Interplay, MAM or PAM, and Delete are popular in this space. Heck, even Adobe has one, although it's veiled in secrecy and only for enterprise customers. I guess this begs the question, if every MAM can be a PAM and every dam can be a MAM, can every PAM be a dam? This is just the tip of the iceberg. What about cool tech like phonetic or facial recognition inside of a dam? Maybe we'll save that tech for a future episode. Have more asset management concerns other than just these 5 questions? Ask me in the comments section. Also, please subscribe and share this tech goodness with the rest of your techie friends. Until the next episode, learn more, do more. Thanks for watching.